This is Valmiki Ramayan, Season 7, Episode 1. The Vanar Sena departs for Lanka. Previously, at the end of the Sundarkand, Hanuman had returned to Kishkindha after meeting Sita. When Ram heard about all that Hanuman had done in Lanka, he was overcome with gratitude. He said to Hanuman, "No one else could have done what you have managed to do. How can I ever thank you? I have nothing to give. I can only hug you with all my heart. Esha sarvasva bhutastu parishwango hanumatah maya dattah." But Ram was also thinking of the challenge ahead. He told Sugriv, Sita had asked Hanuman how the Vanar army would cross the ocean. Now what's the answer to that? Thus begins the 6th book of the Ramayan, the Yuddhakand, the book of war. Sugriv himself did not have an answer to that question, but he was confident that Ram could figure it out. He said to Ram, "Seturatra yatha badhyet tatha tvam kuru raghava." Do what needs to be done to get us across the ocean. Once we see the city of Lanka, consider Ravan dead. All the Vanar leaders are ready to lay down their lives for you. Sugriv had placed all his resources at Ram's disposal. But it was clear that he was looking for Ram to provide the leadership. And like a true leader, Ram took control of the situation. Ram knew they had to get to Lanka fast. Time was running out for Sita. But before setting off for war, he wanted to understand the enemy better. He told Hanuman, "Please tell me everything you know about Lanka. Its layout and fortifications, the size and strength of its army." Hanuman replied, "The city of Lanka is on a mountain, and all around are hills, thick forests, and rivers. A high boundary wall protects the city, and around the wall is a deep moat. There are 4 entry gates, each with a drawbridge for crossing the moat. The gates have yantras, machines, to quickly draw up the bridges when the city is under attack. And other yantras can fire off hundreds of arrows and stone projectiles on the attacking army." Hanuman then briefed Ram on the size and makeup of the huge army contingents stationed near each gate. And he added, "The bulk of the Rakshas force is deployed on the northern side, as that is the most likely direction of any attack. But there is also a large force kept ready at the city's center. This can be deployed wherever the need arises." The Rakshas army is not only large, but also very well equipped. It has horses, elephants, and chariots aplenty. And Ravan, with his propensity to fight and wage war, ensures that his army is always battle-ready. Hanuman, the ever-wise, did not make the mistake of underestimating the enemy. He recognized that Lanka was extremely well protected, Paramadurjaya. But he still ended his assessment on a positive note. "While I was there, I was able to weaken the enemy to some extent. I damaged the drawbridges, ramparts, and moats, burnt down a large part of the city, and killed many Rakshasas. Yena kena tu margena tarama varunalayam. We have to cross the ocean somehow. Then victory will be ours." Upon hearing all this, Ram remarked confidently, "Very soon, I will destroy this Lanka. I shall kill Ravan and bring Sita back." Turning to Sugriv, he said, "We must leave now. send a forward party under the leadership of Neel to find the most suitable path for the army. One with adequate food, fruits and roots, and water along the way. And we must be careful. The Rakshasas may poison our food and water sources. Our path must steer clear of the cities, villages, and agricultural fields so that we do not cause any harm along the way. And finally, this forward party should also check for enemy soldiers hiding in the forests, waiting to ambush us. Gaja, Gavaya, and Gavaksha should lead the troops at the front of the army. Rishabh's troops can guard the right flank, and Gandhamadan's men the left flank. Jambavan, Sushen, and Vegadarshi should secure the rear. Sugriv gave detailed orders as per Ram's direction, and the Vanar army set off for Lanka. The army was so massive that it almost covered the mountains and the forests. It seemed like a sea of Vanaras was heading south to meet the ocean. Remember, the Vanaras fought with their bare hands and with rocks and tree trunks. They did not have chariots and bows and arrows, but what they did have in plenty was strength and courage. And these millions of brave Vanaras were all charged up. They roared and thundered like lions, striking the ground with their tails as they eagerly marched south. One night, as they rested for a short while, Lakshman looked up at the sky and said, "The stars seem to be aligned in our favor. Venus has risen in the northern sky, and Saptarshi, the Great Bear constellation, is shining brightly and traveling clockwise around the pole star. In the southern sky, the star Trishanku, named after our ancestor, and the star Vasishtha, named after our family guru, are shining brightly. The constellation of our Ikshwaku dynasty is free of any negative influence of planets, whereas the constellation of the Rakshasas is badly affected by a comet." Note how masterfully Valmiki has sprinkled his narration with astronomical observations. Modern-day researchers use these to date the events of the Ramayan. They walked day and night until they reached the southern shore. The Vanaras looked out at the limitless sea and stood stunned. It was dusk. With its foaming waves, the sea seemed to be dancing and laughing at them. As they camped down for the night, Ram's thoughts were once again with Sita. He said to Lakshman, "They say that grief passes with time, but my longing for Sita grows worse. It is like a fire that burns me all the time. I cannot wait for the day when my arrows will dig into Ravan's chest. Kada nu khalu vijitya shatrun drakshami Sitam. I cannot wait for that moment when I would have killed my enemies and I will see my dearest Sita." Iti, her, asa. That is how it happened.